Mike Yanek show, best show on the planet. Mike Yanek show, best show on the planet. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome your host for this podcast, Mr. Mike Yanek. Yeah, woo, yeah, we love you, Mike. Bam. How you doing, mate? It's episode 4 of the Mike Yanek Show. Episode, hold on. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Episode 4. I can, hold on. So my Spanish is shit. So I can count, I think, to 6 in Spanish. So when we reach episode 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever, I need to find a different language, to do the intro. So it's uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Cinco, seis. Uno, dos, tres. Oh my god, dude. Hold on. I was watching too much stuff again. Hold on. I have too many thoughts in my head. That's the problem. And sometimes I have issues expressing them. You know what I mean? Because there are like so many thoughts racing in my head, and sometimes like my words are not fast enough, and I cannot express everything. So I need to try this time to express all the madness that is trapped in my head. But what I'm trying to say is, yesterday I was watching some wrestling. What is some wrestling? No, love me some wrestling. All right, watching some wrestling, as I do. I watch a lot of wrestling, and yeah, the thing, I don't have many hobbies. I think it's just like, besides working, which I work a lot, but comedy and podcast and writing and all that stuff is not really a hobby. It's like my, well, I wouldn't say a job, but I want this to be my career one day, so it's not a hobby. But my hobby is maybe, I like comic books and wrestling, and I read books. That's about it. Anyway, I was watching some wrestling yesterday, and I don't know why, but I found like I was looking online at a full show, and like the first part was in English, but the second part I didn't know was in Spanish, and the Spanish commentators and stuff, and I couldn't find the version in English. It was just so funny because I think, because it was in America, and I think the commentators were Mexican or something. I'm not sure, probably, but they were like, I think they were like soccer commentators, but commenting on wrestling. I just couldn't. It was like, uno dos, suplex, ay, German suplex. Oh my god, like the way they were like so emotionally invested into the story, but the way they were pronouncing the words and reacting to the moves, it was just awesome, and I couldn't even focus on the match. You know what I mean? And they was like, so yeah, pretty much I'm gonna be like, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, and they have like all that. I think it's like, there is this channel in America, Telemundo, and like the way they speak, it's very, you know what I mean, like, it's fucking awesome. And I just want, what, they should create a channel where like commentators, like wrestling or soccer Mexican commentators, comment on everything. It's just like a normal channel, English channel, with like the voiceover, and they comment on the news and on, I don't know, on soap operas and like sports and stuff. But it was fucking amazing. Honestly, I was just laughing the whole time. Ay, 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 German suplex and atomic bomb, because atomic bomb does like a wrestling move. So ay, 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 atomic bomb. And I don't know any Spanish, so I couldn't, I couldn't tell you what they were talking about. But it was awesome. Honestly, it was awesome. If we can have those two commentators commenting on life, or just like narrate movies or whatever, it's just gonna be awesome. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is I don't speak Spanish. Anyway, so I have a few topics to talk about today. Enough with the shenanigans now. I will try to do, like the two topics, because I always have like 3 or 4 topics I want to talk about, but I always go in so much depth and detail about random stuff, and I go off the rails all the time with my crazy thoughts, and I can never finish. Like the last episode, I talked about cricket. I was supposed to talk about 3 topics. I talked only about cricket for like an hour and something, and the previous one, episode 2, I did like the buffet documentary. So I'm doing like a recap now of the episodes. Sorry. um, so today I'm gonna talk about being broke, and Oh yeah, so the two topics are being broke and the second topic. This is so stupid. Oh, I'm such a fucking idiot. The second topic I was thinking about this is strip club reviews. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna read. I found some actual genuine strip club reviews. I didn't even know that was a thing. Honestly, it was. How did I get the idea? I was looking at. Oh yeah, because No, hold on. Okay, I'll talk about being broke, and if I have time, I'll talk about the strip club reviews. And if I don't have time, I'll just have to leave it for the next episode. But hopefully, maybe I'll do an hour and a half today. We'll see. I have a bit of time, so maybe I'll do an hour and a half, and then I'll talk about the two topics. But anyway, first topic is about being broke. And you know what the thing is? I've been broke for about 30 years now, and it's not that bad. You kind of get used to it. I mean, there's a big difference between being broke and being poor. It's like I've never been poor, but I've been broke, all my life and stuff. So a lot of people don't make the difference, but I think being poor, it's about like, if you go to you see people they go to like really nice restaurants, and maybe they have like nice cars and stuff. You can have money and still be poor, you know what I mean? And they just go and like in the movies, I don't know if that actually happens, but they maybe they finish their food and they put something like a hair or something in their soup, and they're like, oh my god, I have a hair in the soup, I'm not paying this shit, or start like a big scandal and stuff. And because I've worked in the hospitality industry for many years, and I've seen all type of insane stuff. You know what I mean? I've seen people like they go to a store and like a nice store, and they buy like few stuff, but when they go to the changing room, they kind of remove one of the buttons, or you know what I mean, like do something, and then when they go to the counter, they're like, oh, this, or after they buy it, and they're like, oh, this is, something's wrong, blah blah blah, I want a discount, or stuff like that, mate. Is like I've seen all type of crazy shit, and people they just like this is like a poor person mentality. It's like you have money, but you're still trying to get like a bargain or negotiate prices. I've seen people trying to negotiate prices at, well, I wouldn't say McDonald's, but you know what I mean, like restaurants and stuff. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? They was like, hey, can you 2 quid off or something? It's like, what the fuck, man? This is KFC, motherfucker. We don't do that shit over here, stuff like that. And the thing is, like, I think there's a lot of stigma and stuff about people being broke, but it's not that bad, honestly. Like, if you know how to do it, being broke can be really exciting. I'm not joking, I'm serious. It's like I know how to do broke, so I'm like, I live my best life. Hey, you know what I mean? It can be fucking awesome. And I was thinking about this the other day, so I actually made a list because I was thinking like I've never heard. There's like a lot of things that you're gonna see about the positive sides of being like wealthy or having money or that type of stuff, but I've never seen anybody be like, you know what? Here are the positive things about not having money, about being broke. And I come up with a few things by myself. I was just thinking about it, like my own experience, and then I was like, let me go and check online. But when I checked online, oh my god, these fucking stupid stuff. Like, there was something like, you'll be able to spend more time with your family. What the fuck? And when you start reading, it's like, well, yeah, you don't have money. Obviously, you're broke. I mean, they didn't phrase it that way, but they should. They'll be so funny though if somebody does websites or articles like that, but they're just like completely fucking honest. Because in these websites, they're like PG websites, family friendly websites and stuff, blogs and that type of stuff, because they want to get revenue. So they're very like, the way they phrase things is so annoying. Like, even though you don't have any financial means at the moment, doesn't mean that you're not worthy, and doesn't mean that you will have lesser of existence. And here are a few magnificent reasons how your life can be really, really satisfying and meaningful, just even though you don't have that many financial means compared to a American celebrity, stuff like that, which is like, for me, I'm a real motherfucker, you know what I mean? I'm like, I just say it how I see it, you know what I mean? This is just how I am. It's like, because the way I was raised, I was raised in Eastern Europe and stuff, and I really don't like this whole like bullshit type of speaking and expression, and it'll be funny if they have websites where they just phrase things, honestly, like, hey, listen here, motherfucker, you broke, okay? First of all, you miserable piece of shit. Hold on. Oh fuck. Oh, that would be so funny though. Can you imagine you go to a website? Oh, dude, they should do like a self-help website where there's like some crazy motherfucker like me just writing the articles and be like really in your face. And you know what I mean? Like you go there to, or maybe like, like spirituality website. You know, those websites where they're all about like meditation and like yoga and about chakras and like, talking to the spirits, that type of nonsense, that type of bullshit. The only thing that is actually helpful from that whole, it's an industry nowadays, is the yoga, which is legit. Like yoga is legit, but everything else, it's complete bullshit, man. Fucking crystals and those smelly sticks that they have. What's the name of it? Like, oh, these in incel, no, incest, no, it's not incest. What's the name of it, man? These fucking sticks that they burn. I know somebody's screaming at the screen right now telling me the answer. Fuck, man, what is it? And fuck, the little smelly stick that they're so annoying. The little smelly stick about, you have like it's all bullshit, man. Like candles and shit, and just fucking massaging your tempo or whatever. You know what I mean? It's complete nonsense, man. All of this is complete shit, and it's And I wish there's like a website like that, and the whole layout should be very spiritual and very like soft colors, and maybe there's like a little like little music, back in the 90s and the early 2000s when they started all the websites. When you go to the websites, the first thing you hear is like fucking really annoying music. And the thing is, like, it takes you like 7 minutes to find where is that fucking player and how to turn the music off, you know what I mean? Which was really annoying. Thank God nobody does that anymore. But you're gonna have like really, really soft, really welcoming music. Hold on. Sorry. You're gonna have like really welcoming music, and they're gonna be all about the chakras and all that stuff, but it's gonna be really like in your face and stuff. Like, hey, listen, motherfucker, if you have some issues, go to a doctor. Don't fucking light a candle and speak to, and then fucking look at the tarot cards. Those oh my god, dude, when I was growing up. Oh yeah, I don't think we're gonna do two fucking topics today. I'm off the rails again. Fuck it, who gives a shit? When I was a kid, when I was growing up, like fortune tellers used to be so big in Bulgaria in the 90s, because it was everywhere. Because during communism, because Bulgaria was under communist rule for many years, and communism fell in 1989, and before that, all of that stuff was seen as like black magic. I'm not joking. So magicians, fortune tellers, like, oh, what else? I mean, yeah, all that type of stuff was seen like black magic, and it was just illegal. And after communism fell, all these charlatans, which magicians, fair enough. I do enjoy magic because it's like entertainment, isn't it? But like all these fortune tellers, it should be illegal, man. That's a crime. You know what I mean? Because you're genuinely scamming and lying to like gullible people, and I think genuinely should be classified as a like a scheme or a Ponzi scheme. Those telemarketing nonsense type of shit. Um, it should be a scheme. You should go. I don't know. You should go to jail, but no. You know what? If they catch you doing fortune telling, you should not go to jail. But like a pro wrestler, like a massive 7 foot guy, should go and he should German suplex you on a table. That's your punishment. Oh, you know what? Oh, dude, it'd be so funny though if we live in a country where like there was no jail, but all the punishments were like wrestling type of punishments. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. So if you're a fortune teller, no, you know what? Yeah, if you're a fortune teller, you get like German suplex through a table. If you rob the bank or something, I don't know, like Stone Cold's gonna give you a stunner or something, and I'll hit you with a chair on the head. Why you stealing all that money, bro? Bam! Anyway, what was I talking about, mate? Ah, yeah, fortune tellers. And hold on, how the fuck did I went from... Dude, how the fuck I went from like speaking Spanish, then about being broke, then about fortune tellers, and then punishing people with wrestling moves instead of sending them to jail? Fucking hell, mate, this podcast is completely off the rails. What was I talking about? Jesus, man, I don't know. Yeah, the website. Yeah, so you have the website and it's like really aggressive and stuff. And you know these fortune tellers, yeah. So we used to go when I was a kid. Oh my god, my mother and my grandfather. No, so my mother, my grandmother, and one of my aunts, they were obsessed, mate, with that type of nonsense. Oh, dude, that's a funny story. And we have so in our where my grandparents live, it's like a, back in Bulgaria, like a block of flats, and on they lived on the, no, I'm not gonna mention the floor because one day when I become super famous and successful, I don't want the paparazzi to bother them. Anyway, but on the first floor, uh, it was like one of my grandmother's mates. And she was like one of those fortune tellers. I'm not joking, dude. And they used to have like a little seance, little session every week. And she used to come upstairs and the whole shebang, mate. I'm not joking. She used to do the tarot cards. She used to talk to the spirits, mate. I'm not joking. She used to talk to dead people, and she used to do the coffee. So I don't know if I don't know. It depends which country you're listening in. But in Bulgaria, we used to have this thing. Not anymore, but we used to have this thing. Oh, some old people still believe it. But where you make a cup of coffee and with the fortune teller, and you drink the coffee and you give her the empty cup, and there's like little puddle of mud or whatever, like coffee mud, I don't know what's the name of it. And she used to look at it and she sees pictures or like different signs from the skies or whatever, and she tells you what's gonna happen, like, oh, you're gonna have fortune, or this gonna happen, or somebody gonna smack you over the head with a chair or whatever, and yeah, wrestling was very popular in the 90s. Don't fucking judge me. And that type of stuff, which was really, really insane. And she used to come upstairs every week and she used to do that. Also, she used to, she can tell you your future by looking at like beans. I'm not joking, like uncooked beans. So you go and you take like a batch, like a cup of beans or something, and she throws them on the table. She just puts them on the table and starts reading them. It's like, oh, this bean, that bean, and they form numbers, they form pictures. It was complete nonsense, mate. And my grandmother, she used to believe like crazy, and I was just there listening. And but the best part was when, my okay, let's give her a name. I don't want to give her her real name, obviously, but let's give her a name, Miss Mystic Jenny. It's not even close. I mean, her name was obviously like traditional Bulgarian name, so it definitely not Misty Jenny, Mystic Jenny. Okay, Mystic Jenny. No, no, Mac. Because the thing is, like in Bulgaria, those type of people, you know, they're called Mac. I think it comes from magician, so they're called like Mac Sylvia, Mac. I don't know, Petya, Mactania, whatever, you know what I mean? And we used to have this channel. Oh, I'm gonna talk about the channel now. This episode turned from being broke to fucking mystery and magic or some type of shit like that. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll go back to the being broke stuff. Don't worry about it. And yeah, and I'll talk about the strip club reviews the next episode. And anyways, so she comes over, and the best part was when she starts. So there was like a whole session. So first thing she does, she had the tarot cards as well. So first thing she does is she does the beans, then she does the coffee, then she does the tarot cards, and the main event, which was like huge spectacular, she used to talk to the dead, mate. I'm not joking. She proper used to talk to the dead. And because we had like one or two dead relatives and stuff, people in the family. And her husband, I think, passed a few years ago as well, so she used to talk to him and to the members and stuff. And she used to say that their ghosts and their spirits were in the house, and she used to send me, I'm not joking, mate, to search for them. She was like, oh, he's in the corridor next to the wall, or you know what I mean, that type of stuff. I'm like, how old am I? I'm like 12. I'm like 12 or 11 or something. No, 89. No, I was younger. Maybe I was 9 or 8 or something. I was late 90s. So I used to fucking go in the corner and just look for dead people, for like ghosts and stuff. And my grandmother used to believe, but it was very entertaining. And I was a kid. I didn't know. I thought everything was real. So I was just genuinely fascinated by this woman. I was like, fucking, this, we have a, you know what I mean? She's like a, well, not a magician, but something similar to a god, in our block of flats or whatever. Um, it was fascinating, mate, but it was complete nonsense. Obviously, she was just talking shit. And we had this channel. I think it still exists. Last time I was in Bulgaria, which was, I think, 1 year ago. No, more than, yeah, 1 year ago. They still have that channel, which is insane. I think maybe they multiplied. I think it's a few channels now, but they have this thing where it's like a hotline, like 24-hour tarot card reading and fucking magicians and max and fortune tellers, and it's live on television, and you can call them, and the telephone is like a sex line. It's like fucking 2 quid a minute or so. It's like Babe Station in the UK. They have this thing here, which I don't know how the fuck you gonna. This is a different topic. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna put Babe Station in the strip reviews and stuff for next episode. But it's like fucking ridiculous. How the fuck you gonna pay just a pay to talk to a woman for like £4 a minute? While she's wearing a bikini. And the thing is, like, I'm not sure on Babe Station. When you talk to them, can they hear? I mean, can the people watching actually? I know the girl is hearing you, but is your voice like, what I mean, on like loudspeaker and stuff? So you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, talk that shit to me. You know what I mean? You're just being all weird and stuff, and everybody's listening. Oh, that'd be funny though. Can you imagine if they're like, you know what, we're gonna do this phone because it's like very expensive, the Babe Station and stuff. And I've never watched Babe Station, but it's part of the pop culture in the UK. Everybody knows about it, and all the comedians. Every comedian has a bit about Babe Station. You know what I mean? But what it is, if you don't know, it's like this preposterous program when you have like these really plasticky bimbo-looking women. Yeah, I do apologize. Sorry, I know that I offended all the bimbos listening to this podcast. Well, don't and all the gold diggers and stuff. No, there's no gold diggers listening to this podcast because the title of this episode is being broke. So yeah, obviously. And but they're just there in their bikinis and stuff, and they look preposterous, mate. Like their tits and everything is all plasticky, and you know what I mean. Not everything is nothing is proportional. You know what I mean. So it doesn't look nice when you have like balloon Mickey Mouse tits or whatever. You know what I mean. Just fucking cartoonish tits, and like it looks. They all look fucking weird, and they do. I'm sorry, but they do. They're weird, and you call them and you just talk to them. I was like, what? I don't, you know what I mean? And this is the type of woman. No offense, honestly. Like, I'm a really sweet boy. I don't want to seem misogynistic or like to, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm just taking the piss. But sorry, but these women, like, if I want to have a conversation with somebody, you know what I mean? There's so many fascinating women, and even I know some of my female friends are outstanding, and they have so much to say. Especially like the female comedians I've met in the in the circuit in the industry. They're really really interesting people. They have interesting experiences. Honestly, like the girl on Babe Station is the last person on the planet I wanna have a chat with for 4 quid a minute. You know what I mean? What are we gonna talk about? She does. I guarantee you, she doesn't know much about like history. I love history. I don't think she knows much about geography. You know what I mean? I don't think she's read many books on philosophy recently. You know what I mean? I know that sounds a bit like I wouldn't say prejudice, but you know what I mean? I don't even know what the word is. But that's the last one. She looks like an inflated, you know what I mean? Like an inflated stripper or something. What the fuck? Jesus, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like fucking. If I want to have a conversation, I'll definitely pick some other woman. You know what I mean, or a guy or whatever. But this is that's the thing. I don't understand it. You know what I mean? There's no sex involved. There's no. I don't even think that they're nude. They just in and I don't know, sweatpants and flip flops or whatever, and they just talk shit. They just talk complete shit, like, oh yeah, what do you like, blah blah blah, and that type of stuff, like, oh, you sound so sexy, and that type of nonsense. And the idiots who call this, how fucking dumb you have to be, man, to call this line. The thing is, like, I'm running Babe Station out of business now. I'm genuine. I genuinely think I'm completely destroying this British institution called Babe Station with the type of shit I'm talking about them. Hold on, this podcast is supposed to be about being broke. Like, what the fuck am I rambling about? Like, weird looking women with balloon tits, balloon tits. I don't know, whatever the fuck. Anyway, so we have this channel which is 24/7, and it's so dude, it's fucking weird. You just call them, and like it's like 3 quid, 4 quid a minute or something, and they're like, oh yeah, how are you, blah blah blah, and they just need a bit of information from you, but they need your date of birth, your name, and that's it. And because they kind of look at the numbers, they don't ask you any information. And they was like, who are you calling regards to? Who do you need information regarding to? And they say, oh, my father, my my mother, or whatever, and they start talking. Oh yeah, it's genuinely good stuff. Sometimes they put maybe like, oh, have they been sick for the I think have they experienced any illness or been sick for the last 24 months? They never say years, by the way. They always say months, because if you say 2 years, you'll be like, oh yeah, but 24 months, it sounds a bit, in the last 24 months. And they're like, oh yeah, they've been, of course they have been, everybody's been sick in the last 2 years. I had the flu like a month ago. I had the flu for 3 weeks. Fucking hell, you know what I mean? Everybody's been sick eventually, you know what I mean? It's so bizarre. And they kind of look at the numbers, and they are like, oh, 7, 3, 4. It's like you play like the lottery, or like bingo or something, you know what I mean? 12, 7, 94, whatever the fuck. You're gonna be this, you're gonna be that, blah 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 blah. And they keep you on the line for nonsense. And then they look at the tarot cards, which is complete, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is this shit, you know? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you looking at some cards and telling people what's up? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, man? It's so bizarre. And people, they call them like crazy, and they always look so insane. Like it's always green screen behind them, and on the green screen, there's always like maybe the Milky Way, or like the universe, or some planets, or the stars. You know what I mean? Some bizarre shit, man. And they're dressed relatively normal, and they don't have, like, in the Simpsons, whenever they go to do fortune telling in the circus or whatever, the fortune teller is always dressed really, really preposterous. Like they have like this little, what is it, like a turban or like a hat or something. I don't know what the name of it. And they have like these jewels on top of it, and like they wear these crazy garments. It's preposterous. And they have like this, what's it called? That big ball, orb. Is that the word? Is it orb? I don't know. I don't know all the words in English. So, I don't know. It's a fucking ball. Like, they can see the future, and they kind of move their hands, over it. And they're like, oh, bloody, 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 blah. So, blah, 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 blah. And boom, something happens. But they don't have that in the Bulgarian show, which is kind of disappointing. Because I think it'll be really funny if they go all out on the gimmick, you know what I mean? If they're just like, fuck it, you know what? We're gonna wear the ropes, we're gonna wear, the costumes, everything, man. We're gonna have the globe, and sorry, when you call them, one of the things needs to be like, they need to guess your name, you know what I mean? Because, well, no, actually, because when you call on these shows, they have a guy who picks up first, and they kind of vet you, and then you go. And anyways, they need to have their hands, look into the ball. Oh, say I'm born 5th of January, 1980, and they're like, okay, and they kind of put their hands over the orb, or whatever the fuck that is, over the ball, and they kind of tell you what's happening. And maybe they throw some dice, maybe 8 ball, they have that in America, that ball, and you kind of shake it, and it tells you what's gonna happen. I think that'll be much better, though, if they go fully into the gimmick. It's gonna be hilarious. But they don't. It's just like, you call them, you give them like 3 quid, 4 quid, or whatever, and I don't know. It's fucking weird, man. It's like Babe Station. I know. I feel sorry now. I feel bad now. Man, I'm such a good boy. I feel bad that I talk shit about these women. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that they're like crying now. Oh my god, boys, Mike talking so much shit about me. I'm just out here with my big fake balloon tits, just trying to make a living. I'm shaking my fat ass, telling these fucking losers that I love them. I don't know, man. I feel bad now for fucking Chantel and, what's it? Hold on, let's think of a stripper name. Like, what is the most stripper name ever? I think Chantel is definitely a stripper name. You know what I mean? It's like a very, okay. So Chantel, Diamond. Oh, but that's like, it's kind of I think in the 90s was very popular. Diamond, right? Isn't it? Then you have Champagne. Oh yeah, I fucking love that name. Champagne. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Champagne. Bow, 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 bow. And champagne. Okay, so Chantel. Um, maybe should be a brand of a car. They usually do stupid names like Lamborghini or like Bugatti. Um, it's always like strippers with those type of names. They usually not that, you know what I mean, like if your name is Diamond, you should be like 10 out of 10, you know what I mean, you should be like high level stripping, if there is such a thing. Is there like a hierarchy in the stripper community? I don't want to run the stripping community. It just sounds fucking weird saying it, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I feel fucking weird saying this, like the stripping community. What the fuck, man? The stripping community that strips, you know? I don't want to run the stripping community out of business. You know what I mean? They seem like nice people. But let's fucking face it, male strippers are fucking gross. Okay, mate? Like, I'm not saying this, like, you know what I mean? It's a fucking gross, mate. It's. Yeah, well, female, female strippers are kind of gross as well, to be honest with you. I've never been to a strip club, and unfortunately, I will go one day because I'm sure that I will get easily half an hour for this podcast if I just go to a strip club like the stories. And also, I'm sure I can get pretty like solid 3 minutes on stage just going to a strip club. Because when I was going through the reviews, I didn't read, I read only one of them. But the ones that I have on the file, sorry, what the fuck's happening with my voice? The one I got excited now. She started talking about strippers. But the ones that I have here on my file that I'm gonna read in the next episode probably because I wouldn't have time. I like how I'm just teasing you know what I mean? It's just like I'm teasing it, and if you're listening this because it just came out, the next episode I have to wait for a whole week. I'm such a naughty boy sometimes. I feel so good now. I'm just teasing you. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to wait for a whole week to hear these crazy reviews. I didn't actually read them. You know what I mean? I read only one of them. I read some others, but the one that I have in my phone that I'm gonna read out next week. Next week in the next episode of the Mike Yanek Show, Strip Club Reviews. But the ones that I have on my phone, I didn't read them because I wanted like a genuine reaction when I read them for the first time. But they just looked insane. Like, who the fuck reviews strip clubs? Anyway, I don't want to run the stripping industry and the stripping community out of business, so I'm not gonna talk shit about them anymore. I'm gonna move now to being broke because look, we're like, sorry, what the fuck's happening with my voice, bro? Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Okay, I feel a bit better now. So, we're gonna go now and we're gonna read about being broke because I've done, I think, around half an hour now. I can't check my stuff. I don't have the program in front of me when I'm recording because I get very distracted. Because there's like, when you speak and these programs, they have like this little bar going up and down and changing colors, and I'm like a little kid, I'm like, oh my god, look at this looks so interesting. And and I'm not joking, I completely forget what I'm talking about and I just look at the colors and stuff. Oh my god, colors. And so I wrote actually a few things. Okay, let's have a look. So being broke is actually not that bad, mate. Honestly, if you know how to do it, like, it can be very enjoyable. And the fact is, if you just own up to it, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's like, I'll tell you a story though. Before of course, I'm going all over the place, but I'll tell you a story. So it's like, I started watching. Well, I haven't watched it in a while. Like, I love watching RuPaul Drag Race because the thing is, I don't watch movies. I don't watch TV series. My attention span's gotten so bad over the years that I just can't stand there for an hour and a half and be focused on something unless I go to the cinema. And it's like, but RuPaul, I like it because it's very colorful, it's very loud and flamboyant, and it keeps my attention. You know what I mean? It can keep my attention. Even the colors, they're like so bright. So I'm like a little kid. I'm like, oh my god, look at all these colors, man, goddamn. And so it keeps my attention, and I really love it. It's a fascinating show, by the way, and it's I love it. It's just so much fun, and also it gives you like a glimpse into other people's just lifestyles and other people's interests and like other communities, like the drag scene culture. Because I've never been. Oh, actually, no, I went to a drag show. I went to a drag show last year, and actually, I went to three gay bars in a row during Pride here in Liverpool. It was very fun. Actually, I did a bit about that on stage. I got like 7 minutes out of it. I was like, fucking hell. Yeah, and but probably I wouldn't tell the story on the podcast because I do it on stage, and I don't really want to do my. I, on this podcast, I don't want to do any material. You know what I mean? I just talk shit. I improvise. I tell you stories, but I don't want to do any material which is like set up punchline, premise, punchline, premise, punchline. I don't want to do that. So probably I will never tell this story because I'm doing it on stage. One day if I stop doing it on stage and I'm like, or maybe if I record a special or something and it's there and I'll be like, yeah, okay, maybe I'll tell the story. Anyway, so I think it's a fun story though. I like it. And RuPaul Drag Race is so much fun though. I love it. But the thing is, because I'm straight and like most of my mates are straight, with the exception of two people, which is like one of my best mates and another mate who is very close as well. They're gay and stuff. But when I talk to my straight mates, and when I told them the first time that I was watching RuPaul Drag Race, they kind of got freaked out in a way that they felt so uncomfortable. They were like, "Oh, hold on, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he was like, "Drag Race," and I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You watch, like men who dress up like, like women, and because everybody knows what drag is." And I was like, "Bro, it's a fun show, man. It doesn't." He was like, "Well, are you gay or something?" I was like, "No," and I was like. They were like, but why are you watching it? And I was like, bro, it's just fun. And they feel so uncomfortable. And one time we were like going, I don't know, like a birthday or something, and there were like a lot of people there. And because they tried to like shame me in a way, you know what I mean? Because there was other people who didn't know me, and they was like, yeah, he watches RuPaul Drag Race. And I was like, bro, I'm 6 seasons deep, you know what I mean? And like the way I said it, people just started laughing because I just said it in a funny way, and I was like, bro, this show, like, and what I say? I said like, bro, I'm heavily committed. I'm emotionally invested into those men who wear high heels and wigs, and I'm just being silly, and everybody just started laughing. And I was like, bro, this is like the greatest entertainment on the planet. They're just talking stuff like that, and just owning it, and everybody just laughing, and you know what I mean. And then everybody's like, yeah, okay, fair enough, you know what I mean. So I don't even know why I started telling this story. To be honest with you, what I'm trying to say is just if you, I have been broke. If you own it, if it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter like who you are or what's your situation or what do you do for a living. Doesn't matter, man. You can be like clean dishes in a restaurant. And I've done that, man. I've done because I dropped out of school and dropped out of college, and I was really bad in school, and I don't have any like proper education or any was it not classification, but you know what I mean, any type of trade or any type of actual training, so I cannot get anything that than a minimum wage job. I've done these stuff all my life, but doesn't matter what you do as long as you own it, and if you put a punchline at the end, and everybody will accept you. You know what I mean? And so same stuff with being broke, man. I wouldn't say I'm proud of being broke. I'm not saying that I'm bragging. I have no money for rent this I can't pay my rent this month, man. God damn. It's so fun, it's so nice, it's so fucking nice to not have money, to not have anything. I haven't been on a vacation for 7 years because I cannot afford it. I'm just sitting here at home yelling at a microphone. I can barely afford this microphone. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. I don't do that. But as long as you fucking accept it, man. If you're like, yeah, this is who I am, man. What's up? What's up, man? This is who I is, Maybe if you do a stupid voice like me or something, put a punchline, you'll be fine, mate. You know what I mean? So same stuff with being broke, man. It's like you are who you are, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on the hustle, baby. You know what I mean? It's just when people say like, "Oh, you broke," and I was like, "Well, I'm not. Well, I'm not rich yet." You know what I mean? It's like I'm broke for the moment, but I'll be rich one day, motherfucker. Hold on. Oh, let me drink some water, man. See, I drink tap water because I'm poor. If I was rich, I would be drinking sparkling water. What is that brand? I think it's French. not Pierre. What is it like? Really, really popular. Hold on. It's like a green bottle. Oh fuck! What is it? It's like really, really fancy water. It's only for the most sophisticated people out there. It's not for peasants like me. People who are willing to pay £2, for a little bottle of Piene Curabe. No, what's the name? Oh, let's make up a French name. Fifi Flitty Flu. That's the name of the water. Flitty Flitty Flu. Bubbly. A little bit of bubbly. Okay, bubbly water. Anyway, doesn't matter. So as long as you accept it, mate, you'll be fine. Who gives a shit? Ride the bus, have, you know what I mean? Have some cheap pizza. Have some cheap pizza from Mazda. And you'll be absolutely fine, mate. Okay, hold on. Let's have a look now. I've written down some things about being broke. Because you know the thing is, it's not that bad being broke, okay? Because I've been broke for 30 years now. And I've made a list. I'll come up with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reasons that being broke is not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, reason number 1. This is a good one though. Not worrying about the stock market. Yeah, I mean, just think about it though. I've never, never in my life, not even once, not even for a second, not even for a second, mate, I've walked up in the middle of the night. I mean, I've walked up many times in the middle of the night. I'm an old guy. I need to go and pee. Okay, don't fucking judge me. But I've never just walk up and be like, oh my god, the stock market, Tesla stock is down by 2 cents. 2 cents. What am I gonna do with my portfolio? You know what I mean? I've never worried about my portfolio. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, you need to, you know what, mate? The success to the stock market is diversification. You need to diversify. Can you say that word with me? It's a complicated word. Diversify your portfolio. You wanna do me what? You need to diversify that portfolio. I've never had these thoughts, mate. Honestly, probably this is the first time ever on this podcast that even in my life that I'm even going to say the words portfolio, diversify, and stock market in the same sentence. You know what I mean? It's like I've never had those issues. Like, oh my god, what am I gonna do with my penny stocks or whatever the only reason I know that term is from the Wolf of Wall Street. And by the way, I didn't understand half of the movie because they have some terminology and some penny stocks and this and that and trading and selling and buying. I was thinking why the hell are these people yelling at the phones the whole time? They're just yelling. They're just having mental breakdowns over the phone. And I was like, fucking hell, mate. Are they calling Babe Station? Oh, callback. That was a callback joke. Yes. Oh, bam. Oh, man. Fucking funny, innit? Did you see what I did there? So this is in what we call in the comedy industry. I should know. I'm a comedian. Oh, this is what we call in the... Hold on. This is what we call in the comedy industry a callback, See, I talked about Babe Station fucking 15 minutes ago, and now, do you see how I tied up? Oh, it was not intentional. I'm just very good at improvisation. You see, haha. Oh man, I fucking love this to do this podcast, man. So much fun. I get to talk so much nonsense, and I just stare at the wall at my house because the way my computer is set up. I just stare at the wall. There's nothing on that wall, and I just go crazy. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is they were all screaming and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are they were they so mad? I was like, Jesus Christ, chill out, man. You know what I mean? The Wolf of Wall Street was banging hookers every 7 minutes. And I was like, why the hell is this guy so stressed? He's on drugs and busting nuts left and right. Why the fuck is he so nervous? Anyway, so I don't know anything about the stock market, mate. It's even if somebody's like, oh, do you want to do a podcast where you want to be a guest on a financial investment podcast? And I was like, I can be a guest, but I just need you to know that I will make jokes for an hour and a half straight because I don't know anything about the financial world. I don't know how these people even making money. It's they just call the phone all the time. They just buy, sell. Well, what are they buying? What are they selling? Have you seen those things in the financial, was it Wall Street in America, New York, the financial stock exchange market or whatever the fuck. These people just running up and down, looking, in the ceiling. They have like these massive screens with these fucking numbers and paper flying everywhere, and people screaming. Somebody has a pen behind their ear for some reason. You know what I mean? And everybody's sweating, screaming, wearing a tie. It's like, what the fuck, man? I don't know. So I've never, like, I don't have a portfolio. I have no portfolio. I think I have 400 quid in the bank in total. I have 400 pounds as we speak to my name, 4 or 500, maybe 600. I don't know. That's it. I've never worried. Like the other day, they hear all the time, whenever they have news. I don't watch the news, but on YouTube always something comes up, and on Facebook as well, because everybody shares the news and all that stuff. And every time they mention the stock, and even when the person is speaking, they're today in the news. Today. The thing is, I need to learn how to do more voices. Fucking hell, I can do only like 4 voices, not even 4. They're like 3, and they kind of sound the same. You know what I mean? Like different pitch versions of the same voice. Uh, Today in the stock, okay? No, today, welcome to the news. You're watching the news. This is the channel where we give the news. And I'm going to tell you the news. And somebody's dead now because, this is all we talk about on the news. We just say bad, evil shit. Somebody died today. 7 people died. 4 people were born. That's minus 3 people. And now, Johnny McJolin with the weather. And then you have the weatherman who is like, it's so funny though, like the news people, especially like in the evening news or even in the middle of the day news, they're always so serious. You know what I mean? And they always deliver the most horrific news with zero facial or emotional expression. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, today a car crashed, killing 12 kids, and there was a tornado somewhere in Asia, and a few earthquakes, and yeah, probably 7 people died by the time I finished this sentence somewhere in the world. You know what I mean? Just like fucking. And I stopped watching news many years ago. It's just so, it makes me sad, honestly. Like, and I'm like, okay, fucking hell. And also they do in the morning shows. Every country has them. And now they started this weird trend when they talk about really, really serious subjects and like horrific incidents, or they discuss really, really polarizing topics at 7 in the morning. I'm not joking. I know because, like, I'm subscribed to some of their YouTube channels, and they have like little clips throughout the day, because I don't have a television, and I don't wake up at 7 to watch fucking news or whatever. And when they discuss these polarizing topics, I was like, fucking hell. And then I look in the left corner because they have the little, time from the day. And it's like, okay, hold on, it's 15 past 7. How the fuck are you talking about like immigration reforms? Or, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, people? They're just people waking up. And I was thinking, like, what time does the hosts wake up? It's like, fucking, they probably wake up at 3 or something. The show starts, I think, half 6 or 6 or something, and it's like a marathon. It's like 4 hour show until 10. Some insanity, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, man? Anyway, I even forgot what the fuck was I talking about. What I'm trying to say is, when they have on the news the stock market, I've never been like, oh my god, the Dow. Was it Down Johnson? What's the name of that guy? Johnson Down? Is that his name? Down. That's a Dow. Dow Johnson, right? Down Johnson. Is that the name of the main? Some stock investor marketer now just screaming at their phone like, it's not sound, that's not Down Johnson, you motherfucker. Fucking having a mental breakdown. Damn, I think I insulted a lot of people today, man. It's like, I'm usually not that mean. I'm not even mean. I'm just talking shit. Usually, like, it's kind of weird because, like, okay, so who we insulted today? Let's see. First of all, we insulted the stripper community. Yeah, stripper community, babe station community, the fortune teller community, the people who who work financial investing community. I think so. Yeah, I insulted a lot of people, and I think it's time for me to do an official apology. This is Mr. Mike Yanek, who is going to do an official apology now. Play the music. My name is Mike Yanek, and I just want to say, did I officially apologize? These are all the communities that were affected by my comments, and I'm sincerely sorry. I'm deeply, deeply sorry that I caused any mental, physical, or emotional damage or any harm. This is not my intent, as this is only a comedy show. And I just want to entertain the people, you see. This is the following communities that I deeply, deeply insulted and hurt. I apologize officially to the stripping community, to the babe station community, to the fortune telling community, and to the financial investing community. I have around maybe 30 to 40 more minutes of this podcast. So I will probably insult many, many more communities. I just want to say in advance, I'm sorry, okay? Thank you. This was the apology of Mr. Mike Yanek. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Fucking hell, what the fuck am I on about? Uh, Hold on. You know what? I should just cut this clip of the apology and just every time I start talking too much shit on the podcast, just insert the apology at the end or at the beginning, if just in case, just from the beginning, just apologize to everybody from the beginning, and then go and do the podcast. Hold on, let me drink some water, mate. Fucking hell. So I've never worried about the stock market, not a single day in my life. You know what I mean? I don't follow the stocks. I don't even know how it works. So I think that's a very, very good thing, because when you don't have money to invest, you're like, fuck it, who gives a shit? So this was the first numero uno. Okay, it's numero uno. Okay, let's try this one. The second one is it's great if you're an artist. You get a lot of inspiration. You know what? This sounds like one of those from those stupid websites that I was bashing. You know what I mean? That I was making so much fun. At the beginning, I was like, oh, look at the way they phrase their sentences. These fucking idiots. Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. Like, it's great if you're an artist, because you will get a lot of inspiration. You're listening to the smooth voice of Mr. Mike Yanek on 105.69 FM. So I should become a radio DJ. But the thing is, like, on the radio, you cannot curse. I'm very afraid, because I really want to do some radio interviews and stuff. But I need to be careful, because, there's no cursing, so I'll be a good boy. I need to practice. Maybe, maybe it'll be fun if I do an episode with no cursing, like in the future for the podcast, just to try it, or maybe do like a character, just like a voice, and just do it throughout, like a character, do the whole episode. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things turned out, You see, there is plenty of time. Can you imagine if I do a podcast and talk like this, like Dracula's cousin for hour and a half? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyway. I think that's right, though, for the artist, because how the hell, it's like, I don't know, man. Because, I follow these, I wouldn't call them, I'm not big on celebrities, but I'm really big on few celebrities, and there's these cases, man, like people who come from fucking nothing and they get into, I don't know, boxing, fighting, music, movie, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And they get into something and they become famous after, a certain time, and they become really, really good, and all of a sudden they find themselves with all that money, and I'm being serious here, I'm genuine here, but it's like they find themselves with all that money overnight. Even like some, because I've never played the lottery, never in my life, and I'm 30 years old. I've never even thought about it, And some of my mates, I don't even buy like scratch tickets and stuff like that. And some of my mates were asking me, "You've really never played the lottery?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they was like, "Why?" And I said, "Because I might win it." And they all laugh and stuff. But I was like, "No, think about that. Like the lottery in the UK gets like one time is like 350 million, it, some insane number, like preposterous numbers. Can you imagine me now sitting here with 600 quid in the bank? And I really love my life, mate. Honestly, like I do the podcast, I do gigs, I write books. You know what I mean? I go to the gym. I'm super active. I meet with friends. I have a great life. I'm really happy with the things that I have now, and I'm very determined because when you don't have money, I'm very ambitious. But can you imagine me? I wake up tomorrow and I have 350 million in the bank. You know what I mean? I wish I can say, oh yeah, I'll do the podcast and I'll do comedy and I'll write, but I won't. Let's be fucking honest. I have 350 million in the bank. Fuck everything. I don't. You know what I mean? There's and the thing is, I'll just move to an island, start a drug habit, and just what I mean. I'll go insane, mate. It's like you cannot process that type of money. Same as with like unbelievably famous people who become like insanely famous, like Justin Bieber, man. Like, what the fuck? You cannot be, I was 24 and the whole world knows who you are. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fucking, it drives you up. It drives you up the wall, isn't it? So I think it's good for creativity. And if you're hungry, if you know how to do it, there is a lot of, it really depends what you do as well. I think, like, if you're a writer or if you're like a painter or something, misery is very good for that. You know what I mean? If you're miserable, I think you can write some outstanding books because like even when you see the biggest writers and stuff, when they all write, like Stephen King, J.K. Rowling, was that the Game of Thrones guy? When he wrote the book is J. Martin J. I haven't seen Game of Thrones, to be honest. Anyway, when you see what's his name, J.R.R. Martin, J. Martin R.R.G. I don't know. Tolkien as well. Like when you see Edgar Allan Poe, when you see like their best works, they were always in that time. They were always really, really going through some personal demons and madness and insane shit, and they were like really broke or desperate, or they just got a divorce or depressed or like what I mean, a disease, whatever the fuck, or on drugs. Going through some crazy, crazy periods of their time, and they created their best work. I'm not saying that it's good, for you to go through tough times, but it can really help if you know how to channel that energy, especially if you're an artist, and you can create some really, really brilliant stuff. Yeah, sorry that this point is not funny, mate. Not everything can be funny. Sometimes life's serious. Okay, have a look. Get excited when you see the bus coming. I wrote these like few weeks ago. I completely forgot about them. Oh shit, this is a funny one. Hold on. Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah, that's true. Oh, and yeah, this podcast is not edited, so you're gonna hear me like fucking making noises and shit. Show business, baby. This is life. Yeah, getting excited when you see the bus coming. That's so true, though. Have you ever been there? Because if you drive, especially if you drive a good car, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I don't know if you ever been there, and it's just like raining. You just finished work, you're tired. You're like, oh come on, man. And maybe it's the weekend because on the weekend the buses are not as frequent as they are during the week, and you're just like, come on. And there's like because it's raining and the bus stop is maybe a bit small, and it's so many people, and there's somebody fucking farting next to you. There's somebody yelling on the phone, like those type of people who speak on the phone in public and just fucking yell and yell and yell. So everybody can fucking hear them. These people annoy me so much, mate. And they're just there, and there's somebody fucking idiots around you, and there's some fucking crazy kid listening to fucking old school Christina Aguilera songs. They're blasting in their fucking headphones, and you're like, oh my god, come on, where is the bus? And the bus is not coming, it's not coming, and then all of a sudden the corner turns and bam! Oh, dude. Feels so fucking good, mate. Feels so fucking good. Honestly, like, I get like this buzz. I don't know about you, but just because you have your own bus, so you know the numbers that you need to get. Especially if you're like like me, because when I come back from work and stuff from town, I always get the same bus. And if you get the numbers, you're like, oh, it feels so fucking good, mate. Oh my god, it's like busting a nut in your pants. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yes, here we fucking go. Oh, it feels so good, man. And it's like, if you're rich and if you drive a car, you never know this pleasure of just looking forward to the bus coming. You know what I mean? Oh, so good, so good. And the other thing is, let me have a look. Number three, buses can be fun, mate. Honestly, like if you know how to do it properly, buses can be fun. Number three, get it. Hold on, that's number three. Number four, you get to ride the bus. See, now that's a good that's a good observation. You get to ride the bus. Yeah, I mean that's fucking awesome, isn't it? It's like I love writing. Well, I wouldn't say I love writing the bus, but I get like so much material as a comedian and as a guy who likes to create shit, which is story base oriented, like books, podcast, and comedy. This is for me like my stuff is story oriented. Even in this podcast, I mean, like you have an episode like this, which is more free flowing. As you can see, I'm all over the place and jumping from topic to topic, and I have stuff. But you have previous episodes, like episode 2 and 3, where it was like only one topic, and I was like sticking to and just telling, especially episode 2, because episode 3 I was just reacting to stuff, to videos about cricket, but episode 2 was just telling a story of something that I seen. Episode 1 as well, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm talking about two personal stories from my one from my teenage years. Yeah, so the podcast is gonna be mix. It's gonna be episodes where I just talk about personal stories, episodes where I talk about comedy gigs, episodes where I'm going to react to things, telling stories, what happened to me, and episodes like this, which I really enjoy, which is like this is really loose. Like I just have a loose idea what I want to talk about. Just want to talk about being broke, as you do on a podcast. You just talk about being broke, and you jump from topic to topic. You insult strippers and babe station, and you go back and you talk shit about fortune tellers, and then you have a mob after you, of strippers and fortune tellers, like a bizarre combination of really really old women with crazy garments and like cups of fucking finished coffee and like stacks of tarot cards. Combine that with a bunch of women with like what's they call these see-through plastic high heels. Have you seen them, like the see-through platform heels, which is like that is like, isn't it, that's like a next level of stripper. That's like a badge of honor. I've never seen I think I've seen a woman like that in the civilian woman wearing heels like that, which was really interesting seeing that in person, like in town or something. I was like, oh, okay, that's fucking interesting. But seeing like a mob of like these old grannies and like these strippers and babe station girls with like balloon tits and fucking silicone in the lips. And don't get me started on silicone in the lips. Women, fucking stop that shit because it's ridiculous. Okay, you look insane. And that'll be an interesting group of people to chase me. Hold on. I'll be amused and aroused at the same time while I'm running. It's gonna be so much fun. I'll have smile. Oh, hold on, that's stupid. That's stupid. I'll say it anyway. I'll have a smile on my face and a smile between my legs. Oh, that doesn't even make sense, does it? But who gives a fuck, man? It's the Mike Yanek show. We don't give a fuck over here, man. It's a comedy show, goddamn. Yeah, that'd be funny though. Can you imagine if I get chased by strippers? I like the visual of that, just like a whole platoon. Just, I'm not joking, like, but like militant strippers. You know what I mean? Like, what do I mean by militant strippers? Okay, let's create a platoon of strippers. This is gonna be fun. I'm so stupid, mate. And now you know why I dropped out of college. Like I'm 30 years old, mate. Okay, today I don't even know what day it is today, but I'm just sitting here. I have my little improvised studio, so I have my microphone on a little stand, and like right next to it, I have like these pillows, so I can block out, the outside noises and stuff. And I'm just staring at the wall, and I said the sentence, let's manufacture a stripper platoon, which is like Does it get any better than this, mate? Honestly, how fucking happy you are that you find this podcast? Let's be fucking honest. Tell me, who the fuck says, who the fuck? Nobody creates content like this, mate. You know what I mean? How fucking happy you are? And you know what the best part is? My parents don't speak a word of English, not a single word, so they will never understand what I'm saying. And thank God, because honestly, I would not do this podcast in Bulgarian because I'll be so fucking embarrassed because of the nonsense I'm saying. And even here in the UK, I'm all by myself. Like, there's zero family members in here, which makes me very happy because I'm insane, mate. It's like the shit I say on stage, on gigs, it's crazy. Like, just my life. I don't know, man. I do whatever the fuck I want, so I'll be really embarrassed of myself if I had family members in here who see me on a daily basis or even understand this podcast. Only two of my cousins speak English. But they don't listen. They're not interested in my stuff anyway. So I'm not sure. Yeah, they're not gonna go hour in on episode 4 to ever hear this sentence. Let's manufacture a stripper platoon. But let's manufacture then. Okay, so militant strippers. So first thing, they gotta be all like 6 feet, above 6 feet. Like Amazonian women. No short girls allowed. Um, yeah, that sounded strange from a guy who is 5'5" on a good day. Hold on. I'm short, man. Goddamn. I'm really short, man. It's not easy. It's not easy being this short, because the girls, they usually don't want to date somebody that is short and looks like a child and behaves like a child and is 30 years old and he's making these stupid noises in his little flat, his little house, staring at the wall, talking to pillows, Women don't want that. Women want like a good-looking guy with big old muscles and big old cock and a bit of money. They love some money. Man, girls like you when a guy has a nice old car. Nice car, he can drive them around and buy them cappuccinos. But buy them cappuccino. Hold on, I'm not finished. I'm not even finished yet talking like that. No, they like they like girls like a guy with a big old car and drive them around in a nice car. Buy them some cappuccinos. Buy them some Haribos. Those little jelly bones. Those little bears. They have like different tastes and stuff. One of them tastes like peach. I've never seen a bear that tastes like a peach. Oh, Jesus Lord. It's 2020. Technology has made so much progression. I got one of those little bags with the jelly bone. I got one of those bags. You see, with the jelly bone bears. They had all different flavors. One of the bears tasted like grape. I was like, grape? Oh my God. I love me some grape. I never tasted anything that tasted like grape before. And lemon. I don't like lemons. Who the hell could have put lemon flavoring in a bear? You must be crazy. Let me see what else. And women, they do enjoy a guy who looks good and goes to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I mean, I go to the gym, but there's no difference. I've been lifting I've been lifting weights for about 2 years now, and I'm still the same skinny, sexy boy as before. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on, mate. Oh, so happy that my parents will never hear this podcast. Fucking hell. Jesus, what was I talking about? Oh, gee, I completely forgot, mate. Okay, let me have a look. Jesus fucking Christ. What was I talking about? You get to ride the bus. Yeah, oh my God, I haven't even talked about point number 4. You get to ride the bus. Yeah, so that is true. So the thing is, like, when you get to ride the bus, you get so many stories and experiences. You know what I mean? And I have like a few stories. I don't think I'll do them on stage because, like, I like to do on stage stuff that are really solid. You know what I mean? And I like So if I'm telling you a story for 4 minutes, I wanna have a punchline. I'm not joking. Every 10 seconds. I don't like to do the long premises, like 2 minutes of premise or 3 4 minutes of premise of a 10-minute story. I want it to be like pop, 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 pop. Like very quick. And I like to build up on it because I'm a very high energy act. So it's like always escalating, and then at the end it has like the big pop of the bit or the story. So I wouldn't like the stuff that I talk on the podcast. I'll never do. I'll never tell the stories on stage because like the stories are 15, 20, half an hour minutes, half an hour long, and they don't. The punchlines are not that strong. They're interesting for a podcast because podcast is a long form and it has to be interesting. It doesn't mean I have to deliver a punchline every 12 seconds, which is impossible because I do an hour and a half show. You know what I mean? And it's not possible. I mean, I can do stupid voices, but they're not that entertaining. They get kind of they get kind of boring after a while. Anyway, you get to ride the bus, and the thing is, the best part is people on the bus sometimes forget that they are in a public space. They forget that they are on a bus. They think that they are in their living room. So they go insane. Genuinely, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I've seen people like playing music out loud, like nobody's, like they're in their living room. They get the phone out, they put it next to them, blasting, mate, like blasting some insane techno music, or what is it, trance music, rave music, whatever the fuck. Those people who go to the carnivals, oh, not carnivals, what's the name? They go to the fields and they wear like these LED sticks on their neck, and they have like these preposterous, like glittery clothes and fanny packs or whatever they wear, and fucking hiking shoes, and they have glitter on their face, and it's like, what the fuck, man. And the guys, they all have like, I don't even know what the guys have. Like the girls, they dress preposterously, by the way. It's hilarious. And it's like drop the bass, and everybody's going insane. They listen to that type of music, put it, next to them, and they get like their takeaway, which is, oh my, don't eat takeaway in a bus, please, please, somebody needs to suplex you. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling punishment. And fucking hell, man, they get their food out and it just smells. Okay, did you hear that correctly? I said it fucking smells. Yeah, it fucking smells, mate, and it's so annoying. And they start eating the chicken. It's like, what the fuck? And that's annoying, but to me that's funny. You know what I mean? Like, I like to see stuff like that because I don't like when everything that's what, because I don't live in the suburbs, but it's like I've seen in America, here in the UK, they have some suburbs which are like unbelievably boring, and they're just like cut away from everything. Like the closest shop is like, I don't know, like 15 minutes drive or something, and there's nothing happening there, and I don't like that. I know it's safe and peaceful, and it's good if you have family and stuff, but for me, as a guy who likes to just create whatever it is, doesn't matter if I might paint, I might do a podcast, whatever it is, I just love to create stuff, and I need that madness and insaneness, and I need the hustle and bustle. Even though I don't like really big cities, that's why I like Liverpool, because it's the perfect size. That's what she said. Hey. No, but Liverpool is the perfect size, so I need to see this madness and insane stuff happening. So then I'm happy. Anyway, what else? I see people arguing, like full blown argument, mate. Like a couples fucking going insane, and you're like, oh my god, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I'm such a gossip slut that it's like when I hear a couple, and it happened a couple of times actually, when I hear a couple like exploding, like going crazy, just starting to argue, yelling at each other, it's like insane. And I pull out my phone if I'm listening to music, and I stop my music while I'm pretending that I'm still listening to the music and just listen to them. I've seen some insane shit. I'm gonna talk like in the future episodes. I have a few stories. I need to go through them because I don't remember them very well, and I don't like a podcast where I have to be like, oh, so, oh, wow, you know what I mean? And just like fucking wandering for like 2 minutes and then deliver like a fucking stupid story that you know what I mean? That's why I would rather remember the story and make it interesting, retell it in an interesting way than do it right now. This is just how I am, and you get to observe some insane shit, mate. Oh, especially when you see parents with kids. Sometimes I feel sorry for the parent, like little kids, like 2 or 3 kids, when they go to the bus and there's like what's that little stroller? What's the name? I can't pronounce it properly. Stroller. You know, the thing that you push the little kid around, and they have maybe like another kid, one kid in the stroller, one kid. You know, they hold on to the kid, and 2 kids just running around, and they going fucking bonkers, mate. They go in insane. They try to go upstairs. You know, here in the British buses, you have a second floor. The parents like, Jenna, calm down. You know, like, we're not going upstairs. You know, just fucking yelling and shit. Like, Mom, I wanna go upstairs. I wanna go upstairs and look out the window. And, and the mom is like, No, Jenna, I told you, not looking at the fucking window, love. Come fucking down. Okay, because I have your fucking brother Artie and Mark over here. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, No, ma, fuck you. I wanna go fucking upstairs and look out the window, you cheeky cunt. I don't usually do Scouse accent on this podcast because like 95% of the people don't understand Scouse accent, especially if like Americans or Canadians. So they were just like, I have no idea. Oh, probably it was funny because he was laughing, but I have no idea what he said. So yeah, that's why I don't do it. But I have a fucking spot on Scouse accent, mate. Do you know what I mean? I can do a good Scouse accent from time to time. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's do fun. How much I've done? Oh, fucking hell, mate. Okay, we're almost finishing, mate. Let's do one more and we're finishing. Uh, go on to the. No, I think that's about it, isn't it? Oh, it says here that you're not gonna attract any gold diggers, which is true. And I think we discussed gold diggers in length this episode. But that's true, though. Like, I've never had a gold digger in my life approach me, not even once. Because, I usually take the bus and funnily enough, I don't know if you know this, but gold diggers usually do not go to the bus. This is the place where they usually do not like to go. I don't know why. No, but you never get approached by gold diggers or like babe station girls. Oh, call back, bam. Did you see what I did there? Oh, they're a call back again. I'm trashing the babe station girls now. I don't know why. But the thing is, one day, look, wait, I might trash girls like that, like gold diggers, and make fun of them with the balloon tits. But trust me on that, mate. One day when I become rich and famous, I will be fucking surrounded by these women. I'm so easy, mate. I am so easy. I'm not joking. It takes just like a little smile, like, hey, sweetie. And I'm like, boom, okay, I'm yours. Do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? Take my money, take my credit card. Just fucking, I'm super easy. I'm just not, I'm just being honest about it. So, yeah. Anyway, but I think that's about it, mate. And yeah, I did. Oh, fucking, won't be able to do the strip club. I'm sad boy now. And yeah, I need to go now. I have shit to do, mate. Very busy. You know what? Next week we'll do the strip club reviews. And you know what we're gonna do? Because I had only five. I'm gonna do 10, and I'm gonna do a full episode. Okay? I'm gonna talk about strip clubs. I'm gonna talk shit about strippers again, and just talk shit and that type of stuff. But mate, thanks for listening, mate. This was fun, and I will try to get some highlight clips of this nonsense. Just fucking bullshit, man. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Talking shit about Babe Station. I hope you have a great week, mate, and see you again next Wednesday. And don't forget to look out because maybe if I post highlight clips, maybe I'll post them on the YouTube channel and social media. Yeah, but that's about it now for me, mate. Have a great weekend. No, weekend. It's fucking Wednesday. I completely forgot. Have a great week, mate. And I'll see you next week. And bye bye for now. And now enjoy the outro song. The outro song of the Mike Yanek Show. You've been listening to the Mike Yanek Show. See you next week. Bye bye.